Welcome to Star Chill Vibes. Dive into the universe of astrology, cosmic energies, and celestial insights with a relaxed, fun twist. Perfect for stargazers who love to vibe with the cosmos. Get your dose of zodiac, moon moods, and spacey good vibes.
Hello and welcome. Today we are focusing all of our cosmic energy on, well, the most majestic sign in the zodiac, the lion, Leo. We have poured over the planetary forecast for 2026, and let me tell you, this is not just a regular year.
No, not at all. It's a year of truly monumental shifts that are going to redefine the Leo identity for decades to come.
Wow. Okay, so for anyone out there with strong Leo placements, Sun, Moon, Rising,
Or even Venus, yeah. If Leo is a big part of your chart, you are sitting at the absolute cosmic epicenter of change.
So our mission today is to really unpack this entire year, right? To give you a kind of navigational map to maximize all this powerful energy.
Exactly. We've got major outer planet moves, like this huge Saturn and Neptune reset we have to talk about. Plus, Jupiter's highly anticipated arrival in your own sign. It's a lot. It really is. And I think it's crucial to start with the foundational energy of the year itself. We sometimes forget that the macro energy really dictates the micro experience.
Indeed. And when we look at the numerology of 2026, the digits add up to a universal 1 year. So 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 equals 1.
Oh, 1 year. So new beginnings.
The ultimate new beginning. The number 1 is all about initiation, genesis, setting a precedent. It demands fresh starts, bold actions, and really intentionally setting the tone for the next whole 9-year cycle.
And for a sign like Leo, whose whole essence is leadership and putting the self forward, that must resonate so deeply.
Oh, absolutely. The universe is basically encouraging you to step up and pioneer your own path this year.
And when we talk about Leo, we have to remember they're a fixed fire sign. They're not that, spontaneous spark of Aries or the mutable flame of Sagittarius.
Right. Leo is that stable, sustained heat like the fireplace that keeps the entire structure warm. It's associated with the Strength card in the tarot for a reason. It's about self-assurance, grace, and this very steady courage.
And that fixed nature is exactly what the cosmos is going to be testing, isn't it?
That's the key. Leo's natural inclination is to sustain identity, to maintain the status quo of their recognition and their established projects. But 2026 brings two defining non-negotiable planetary movements right at the start of the year that demand even the fixed signs engage in some pretty radical movement and adjustment.
So the universe is basically handing Leo a new blueprint, whether they're ready for it or not.
Like it or not, yeah.
Okay, let's unpack those two defining shifts because they really do set the stage for this entire next era. What's the first major planetary movement we need to talk about?
The first, and I would argue the most historically significant, is the definitive movement of both Saturn and Neptune into Aries.
Both of them.
Both. Saturn re-enters Aries around February 14th, and then the monumental Saturn-Neptune conjunction happens right at the very, very beginning of the zodiac at 0 degrees Aries on February 20th, 2026.
0 degrees Aries. That's like pure, unadulterated starting energy. And this is a 36-year cycle kicking off, correct? That's just a massive. What does that mean for Leo?
36 years. I mean, just think about what the world was like 36 years ago. This is a complete global reset of reality.
Wow.
And for Leo, as a fellow fire sign, Aries creates a harmonious trine, which is fundamentally supportive. But, and this is a big but, support doesn't mean easy. It means the energy is demanding, but it's available for you to use.
So it's not a gentle invitation, it's more of a command to lead.
Precisely. This specific alignment calls fire signs to take charge. It requires Leo to exercise their natural talents creatively, but with the seriousness, the gravitas of Saturn. It's demanding that you connect with your inner master.
So it's dreams and structure coming together.
Perfectly put. The energy mandates structure, discipline, and with Neptune there, an open-mindedness to master new skills that align with your highest visions. If you, as a Leo, use your signature confidence to build something lasting right now, you could define the next 3 decades of your life.
That puts so much pressure on taking authentic action. Now, you mentioned a second shift that applies tension specifically to Leo's fixed nature. What's that dynamic?
That is the prolonged, unavoidable activation of the grand fixed cross. This involves the 4 fixed signs: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius.
So they're all squaring each other, forcing tension and reevaluation, and Leo is right in the middle of this pressure cooker.
A pressure cooker is the perfect term. If you're a Leo, you are receiving these hard angles, these squares, from the other fixed signs, forcing adjustment on all sides.
And what specific areas of life are being pressured by this cross?
The sources really highlight that this cross activation is targeting Leo's domain. We're talking about grandiose projects, expectations of recognition, and passionate urgency.
What classic Leo
The
stuff?
classics. You're feeling pressure on the Leo-Aquarius axis, which is self versus the community or your friends, and the Taurus-Scorpio axis, which is your values and resources versus shared power and debt. It's a lot.
I mean, that's a total foundational review. It sounds deeply uncomfortable.
It's necessary, though. This pressure, especially if the transit is touching your Leo sun or ascendant, is all about cleansing and healing toward your true self. The fixed part of you might desperately try to hold on to old, ego-driven patterns of recognition, but the cosmos is asking for release, for authenticity.
So it's a rebuild of identity based on more stable, non-ego foundations.
And that tension is basically the background noise for the whole year.
Okay, let's move from those huge long-term shifts into the key planetary movements that will guide Leo month by month. Let's start with the planet of luck and expansion, Jupiter. That's a massive story for Leo in 2026.
Jupiter is absolutely a central feature. And to understand its impact in 2026, we have to look at where it starts the year. Jupiter leaves Gemini in mid-2025 and enters Cancer, where it's considered exalted.
Exalted, so that means it's at its best, it's most effective.
It feels its best, it's most expansive. So for the first 6 months of 2026, Jupiter is nurturing and supportive, even though it's not directly in Leo yet.
Right, so where's that energy playing out for Leo?
For most Leos, this is activating the 12th house, which is the house of your inner life, spirituality, seclusion, and hidden matters. This means the growth for the first half of the year is all internal.
So it's an internal preparation phase.
Exactly. It's focused on emotional fulfillment, spiritual security, and shedding what no longer serves your soul.
And then, the moment everyone is waiting for. The coronation.
The grand moment arrives on July 1st, 2026, when Jupiter enters Leo. This is it. This is a monumental, once-in-a-12-year transit where Jupiter shines its expansive, abundant energy directly onto all things Leo.
So confidence amplified, opportunities multiplied.
General optimism just soaring.
Yeah. And how might that manifest differently, say, for someone's first house versus their fifth house?
Great question. If this transit activates your first house of self and identity, you'll experience a profound boost in your self-image, your physical vitality, your public presence. You might change your appearance, start a major personal project, or just, walk into a room and command attention more easily than ever.
On the fifth.
If it hits your fifth house, which is common with the fire sign trine, the expansion is focused on creativity, joy, romance, hobbies, and children. It's a superb time to launch a passion project, enjoy new romance, or focus on the well-being of children in your life. Either way, the promise is growth, inspiration, and just abundant confidence.
That sounds like the reward for all the hard structural work Saturn is demanding.
It is.
Okay, let's look at Uranus, the Great Awakener. It's driving long-term change, especially in how Leo connects with the world.
Uranus is already settling in. It moves fully into Gemini by July 7th, 2025, and it stays there until 2033. So this is a 7-year transit activating the 11th house for Leo.
The 11th house. So that governs long-term goals, social networks, groups, community.
All of it. Which means Leo is getting a radical shakeup in their court, their friendships, and their aspirations.
And Uranus and Gemini is all about communication and technology, right?
It's a phenomenal multi-year transit for expanding your social circle and collaborating on big, unconventional, or futuristic ideas. Think rapid adoption of new digital platforms, starting a cutting-edge blog or a high-concept podcast. Leos have to embrace these new technologies to succeed.
So if Leo is all about shining, this is the modern way to do it. The digital realm becomes the new stage.
It's your new stage, exactly. But Uranus is the rebel, and it demands you embrace ideas outside your comfort zone. This requires balancing Leo's strong need for the personal spotlight with the needs of the collective.
So sharing the stage, collaborating.
Becoming a leader within the network, not just on top of it. That fixed nature that prefers a solo performance is being challenged.
That's a fascinating tension. The king has to learn how to be a team player. Finally, for this section, let's talk karmic release. Ketu, the south node. What does Leo have to shed this year?
Ketu, the point of relinquishment, is positioned in Leo until December 5th, 2026. And when sources talk about Ketu and Leo influencing the 10th house, they're often using a moon sign perspective, which is common in Vedic astrology.
Okay, so what does that mean practically for our listener?
It means the karmic release is deeply centered on two things: career and vocation, the 10th house themes, and identity, because it's in Leo itself. Ketu, in Leo, is fundamentally asking you to confront your vocational path and release the ego's attachment to how you get recognition.
So it's not necessarily about losing the career, but losing the need for the external validation that the career provides.
Precisely. Ketu suggests letting go of old career contracts, titles, or ways of working that lack substance or aren't genuinely aligned with your soul's purpose. It's an active, sometimes uncomfortable process of shedding that old crown that might have gotten too heavy or just performative.
And by doing that, you clear the path for the real Jupiterian fulfillment later in the year.
It's a cosmic cleanse of your professional identity.
That sets us up perfectly. The year begins with these huge structural resets before the big expansion mid-year. Let's move into our detailed month-by-month deep dive, starting right at the beginning of 2026.
Okay, January 2026. It starts with the Sun in Capricorn, which immediately focuses the collective energy on structure, commitment, and foundations. For Leo, this often activates the 6th house of work, service, and daily routines.
So getting organized right from the get-go.
Exactly. You're being pushed to lay the invisible roots for successful routines for the whole year ahead. And the mind follows suit with Mercury in Capricorn on January 1st.
Mercury in Capricorn. So thought gains weight. Conversations become more serious.
Very serious, focused, and goal-oriented. Words become structure. If you write a proposal or define a plan in January, it has the staying power of that earth element. Leo should use this time for serious planning, not frivolous chatter.
And what are the emotional undercurrents at the start of the year?
The full moon in Cancer on January 3rd is emotionally potent. As we discussed, this often hits that 12th house, the house of inner peace and hidden matters. So this lunation illuminates what was quietly growing or maybe hidden beneath the surface in 2025.
A moment of emotional fullness then, bringing clarity to private matters.
Yes, and Leo should use this time for introspection and rest. Honor those hidden processes before all the action really starts.
Then we have Venus moving into Aquarius, which could cool down Leo's fiery romantic temperature a bit.
A bit, yeah. Venus enters Aquarius on January 17th, and in the sign opposite Leo, Venus is detached and cerebral. This is where desire needs distance, affection becomes airy, mental, unpredictable.
So it's more about intellectual connection than, say, dramatic passion.
It's asked for mental compatibility above all else. Shared ideals, friendship-based love. It's a deliberate cosmic push for Leos to ask, do we connect intellectually? Do we share a vision for the future?
Okay, moving into February, we shift gears in a massive way. We have the full moon in Leo and that colossal Saturn-Neptune shift.
February is huge. Truly, it starts with the full moon in Leo in the first few days of the month. This is your personal spotlight moment.
A massive opportunity to shine, step out, feel good.
Absolutely. This full moon gives you a huge energetic boost. It's favorable for children, creative projects, or finalizing important personal work that started in late 2025. It's the universe giving you a glorious moment to affirm your identity before the major structural work begins.
Let's focus then on those two monumental shifts mid-February. Saturn in Aries first.
Saturn definitively moves into Aries around February 14th. Saturn is karma, structure, responsibility. Aries is the self, initiation, the warrior. For Leo, this energy activates the 9th house.
The 9th house. So that's higher education, long-distance travel, philosophy, legal matters.
All of it. And it means that for the next few years, you'll need serious disciplined work in these areas. If you want a higher degree, Saturn demands you apply yourself. If you're dealing with legal issues, Saturn demands structure and accountability. It's an era of defining your philosophy for life.
And then the 36-year defining moment, the conjunction.
The Saturn-Neptune conjunction. Around February 20th is 0 degrees Aries. This is the new beginning where reality, Saturn, and dreams, Neptune, merge in a pioneering sign. Historically, these conjunctions precede massive global shifts.
And for Leo, because it's a fellow fire sign, it's intensely personal.
It demands that you use your confidence to bring visionary, imaginative projects down to earth with practical, disciplined steps. 0 degrees Aries is the absolute starting point. You are literally creating a new reality. It's a push to manifest your high ideals in a disciplined way.
Okay, that Aries energy is foundational. Let's flow into March, where the action starts to regain some momentum.
March brings a massive sense of relief and forward motion. The Mars retrograde in Cancer, which started back around January, finally ends and goes direct around March 18th.
That retrograde was pretty emotionally intense, right? A lot of internal reflection.
Very intense. It was encouraging reflection on home-based or emotional drives and ambitions. So once Mars moves direct, Leo can finally move forward with greater clarity on those goals. Unburdened by past confusion or inertia, your drive is outward again.
And romance gets a boost too, with Venus entering Aries.
Yes, on March 6th. This places the energy of desire and beauty right into that fresh, pioneering fire. Desire becomes immediate, fiery, frontal, no time for diplomacy.
It sounds like it energizes Leo's romantic side quite a bit.
Significantly, passion becomes direct, active, highly visible. It's a wonderful time for Leos to just state their desires clearly and fearlessly pursue connection.
That directness must feel pretty natural for a sign that likes to be bold. Now we hit April, things get very high energy.
April is one of the most energized and complex months for fire signs. Mars moves into Aries around April 10th. And since Aries trines Leo, this is truly Leo's time to be at your fullest, most energized self. You feel motivated, competitive, ready to tackle major goals.
But Mars isn't alone. It meets up with Saturn in Aries, which creates a pretty big point of tension.
That's the core conflict of late April. The Mars-Saturn conjunction in Aries. This is contradictory energy personified.
So it's like flooring the gas pedal with the emergency brake on.
That is a perfect way to put it. Mars demands speed, action, immediate results. Saturn demands caution, patience, planning, restriction. They meet at the starting gate of this new cycle, demanding that you integrate both.
That must feel intensely frustrating. You want to run forward, but you feel like you've hit a wall.
Precisely. If you act impulsively, Mars will hit that Saturnian wall and you'll get delays or frustration. The lesson here is that all that momentum has to be applied methodically. It's a crucial window to audit your plans and gather your facts before you push the accelerator.
Discipline and expansion have to go together.
They must.
Moving into May and June, what are the long-term themes that start to solidify?
May and June really solidify that long-term Uranus and Gemini trend we talked about earlier. Uranus is fully settled in, so themes of technology, communication, and social networks are fully energized in Leo's 11th house.
So if you haven't started that web development project or that new writing endeavor, now is the time.
Absolutely. Be bold. This is the long-term future, and the universe is demanding you adapt and innovate within your social sphere. Your unique voice has a new platform.
And meanwhile, Jupiter is still providing that nurturing security before its big shift.
Correct. Until June 30th, Jupiter is wrapping up its time in your 12th house of spiritual life. It's fostering deep emotional fulfillment through inner reflection, solitude. It's the quiet healing you need before stepping into the blazing spotlight.
Use this time to process and meditate.
Definitely. And there's one more tense aspect in June we should mention. On June 15th, it's a Jupiter square Saturn alignment.
Square is a hard angle, forcing an action.
Exactly. It's at 1 degree of Aries and Cancer. It emphasizes a deep tension between growth, Jupiter, and structure, Saturn, right at the beginning of this new cycle.
And since it involves Cancer, which is internal security, and Aries, pioneering action, what's the practical challenge here?
It demands that you confront whether your forward motion and pioneering goals are conflicting with your inner stability. The square forces you to make cutbacks or hard decisions if your sense of joy is being held back by instability. The message is clear. Hard work now brings significant rewards later.
A final test of preparation. That sets us up perfectly for the second half of the year, starting with that long-awaited Leo coronation in July.
July 1st. This is the major annual shift. Jupiter enters Leo. The entire cosmic focus changes.
So the emphasis shifts from all that hidden spiritual stuff directly onto the film. Self, identity, creativity, joy.
Pure, undiluted Leo themes. It's confidence, opportunities, and luck on tap. And it only happens once every 12 years.
How does that expansive energy manifest, specifically in creativity and self-expression?
Oh, the impact is profound. Jupiter in Leo expands your creative flow and your natural desire for relaxation and fun. It makes it incredibly easy to bring out and share your inspiration with others.
So if you've been sitting on a novel, an art project, a performance idea,
The universe is giving you the biggest green light possible. It encourages you to ask yourself, what bold individual expression do I want to give birth to in the next year? This is the time to initiate those new, personal, bold projects that really honor your true individuality.
that incredible self-assured energy sounds like a high, but astrology rarely gives us a simple, uninterrupted good time. What internal challenges does August bring?
August forces you to do some essential shadow work. This month highlights themes of self-love and acceptance. Despite that Jupiterian spotlight, this is a crucial month for confronting your inner critic.
So even with all the confidence Jupiter provides, you might still face regrets or self-defeating thoughts about the past.
Exactly. The universe is making sure that the foundation of your confidence is authentic, not just an expanded ego. If you ignore past regrets, Jupiter might just expand those self-defeating thoughts.
So the call is to confront those issues with grace and reestablish your self-worth.
It's the month for radical self-acceptance, knowing you inherently deserve happiness and recognition, regardless of external validation. If you haven't started journaling to process these inner conversations, August is the month to begin.
Moving into the autumn, September through November brings a period of intense focus, passion, and, you mentioned, heightened fixed cross tension.
This is a very fiery long-term period of action. Mars, the planet of drive, enters Leo on September 27th and stays there until November 25th. Mars in Leo is proud, self-confident, and dramatic.
So you're feeling spirited, pursuing lofty goals, desiring dramatic results?
Absolutely. You'll take the most direct route to victory, and your passion for life and your competitive spirit will be extremely high.
And Mars is spending an extended period in Leo because of the upcoming 2027 retrograde, right?
That's right. And that longer, intense focus on self-expression ignites massive confidence, but it simultaneously heightens the pressure from the grand fixed cross. So the stakes get raised.
So how does that increased passion from Mars interact with the grand fixed cross tension?
Well, Mars in Leo makes the ego more urgent, more demanding. But the grand fixed cross is urging you to review and release those excessive expectations of recognition.
So the squares from Taurus and Scorpio are demanding a check on resources and integrity.
And the square from Aquarius is demanding humility and collaboration. It's a real tug of war.
So Mars provides the engine for dramatic movement, but the fixed cross provides the necessary friction to make sure that movement is authentic and sustainable, not just for ego.
Precisely. The challenge is ensuring Mars's desire for dramatic results is moderated by the lessons of the fixed cross. If a goal is purely for applause, this period will bring friction. If it's for genuine purpose, Mars provides unstoppable confidence.
Finally, let's close out the year with December 2026. What does this final month emphasize?
As the year ends, Mars shifts focus, moving into Virgo. For many Leos, this activates the 6th house of health, service, and daily routine.
So after all that intense, fiery action, it's a month for grounding and simplifying.
And prioritizing health checkups. It's time to deal with the practical details. And the sources specifically mention focusing on bones, teeth, or structure due to Saturn's placement.
That's a vital detail. Saturn rules the skeletal system, and it's in Aries until 2028.
Right, so issues related to dental or bone health might be highlighted for fire signs. December is the time to take care of any complaints and schedule checkups. It's critical because Mars will retrograde in Virgo in January 2027, so anything you ignore in December will definitely resurface for a more difficult review.
Okay. And what about planning and connection in December?
We have a wonderful, expansive placement with the new moon in Sagittarius on December 8th. As a fellow fire sign, this is a very positive lunation for Leo. It brings energy for travel, higher education, or committing to new studies for the following year.
A good time to plan a big trip or sign up for a course.
Ideal. Then, the full moon in Cancer on December 23rd closes out the year. This lunation emphasizes the polarity between work, pleasure, and home life. Leo may find themselves juggling commitments during the holidays, so it's a final cosmic reminder to be aware of the balance between career and personal life.
That was a tremendous, detailed walk through the year. Before I wrap up, let's connect all these threads. What's the overarching karmic focus for Leo in 2026?
The major karmic theme is, without a doubt, the deep transformation of identity. You're in the crosshairs of the fixed cross, which is forcing you to let go of old ego-driven patterns about recognition and projects that just aren't authentic anymore.
So it's a profound period of cleansing and healing toward the true self.
Stripped of all the unnecessary performance, yeah. And the one universal year theme reinforces this. It demands that pioneering spirit, but the cosmic alignments, especially Saturn and Neptune and Aries, also demand immense structure and responsibility to sustain that fire.
So you can't just leap onto the stage, you have to build the stage first.
With solid materials and a clear, long-term architectural plan. The whole challenge is marrying that dramatic Leo confidence with the quiet diligence of Saturn.
Okay, for our listener, let's leave them with some concrete takeaways for maximizing this huge transformative year. In terms of career and personal development, what's the main focus?
For career, Ketu in Leo is suggesting you actively walk away from old career contracts, titles, or professional identities that just feel heavy or lack substance. And because Uranus is so activated in Gemini, You must focus on developing new skills in communication, web presence, and new technologies.
Your long-term expansion hinges on innovating in the digital space.
And collaborating, yes.
And how should Leo navigate the transformed landscape of relationships and love?
The dynamics are changing dramatically. Venus in Aquarius asks you to seek mental compatibility and friendship first. Find beauty in surprise and intellectual challenge, not just closeness. Meanwhile, Mars in Leo later in the year heightens your passionate drive.
So it's about balance.
Blend the need for that intellectual connection with the strong, direct desire that arises later. If you're single, look outside your usual type. You're likely to attract some unique, fascinating people from midsummer on.
And finally, with all that fixed cross-pressure on resources, what's the key financial focus?
From late 2025 through mid-2026, diligence and long-term planning are heavily favored. The alignment suggests that cautious, well-researched investments could yield positive results, but it is absolutely crucial to avoid impulsive decisions or vanity purchases.
The fixed cross is asking you to stabilize your financial foundation.
Trust your heart, Leo, but abundance flows through steady patience and auditing your shared resources.
This entire year really centers on a massive shift, with reality and dreams being reset simultaneously right in Leo's supportive but demanding sector.
Indeed. That Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries is a profoundly rare moment where structure and dreams, reality and imagination are being reset at the same time. This is the start of a new 36-year cycle.
A final thought for our Leo listener.
My final thought for you is this. You have the confidence, the courage, and the strength of the lion. How will you use that signature self-assurance? Not just to seek attention, but to responsibly and authentically build something lasting that defines this profound, multi-decade cosmic cycle.
A truly powerful question to reflect on as we close this deep dive. Thank you so much for joining us for this expensive look into the Leo 2026 cosmic energies. If you want to keep vibing with the cosmos and diving deep into celestial insights, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe to Star Chill Vibes. We are so glad you are part of this journey. Until next time, keep shining bright.